The story of the persecution of the Muslims starts with our Prophet. He was persecuted. He was persecuted to such an extent that his daughter Fatima used to cry. We all know this. His colleagues, his followers were placed in a den, sort of a den, Shebe Abi Talib, and they cried and cried and cried. And then the migrations took place to Abyssinia twice, then Medina. The Muslims used to ask the Prophet, give us the permission to retaliate. And Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam did not allow. And finally came the Quranic verse. Now you are granted the permission to retaliate, but retaliate to the extent that the damage has been done to you. Do not cross the limits. And even if you forgive and do not retaliate, this act is more pleasing to Allah. I thought I should refer to this. Looking at the pages of history is important. Crusades lasting 150 years, tens of thousands killed, massacred, fall of Baghdad, when each one of you knows here what happened. When the river water turned red, Mongols persecuted the Muslims in China. We watch the movie Dracula. Our children do, When I was in Lawrence College, Goda Gali, in class 5, 6, we were thrilled to watch that movie. But nobody told us that Dracula is actually existing or used to exist as Count Vlad III of Romania. And he massacred 22,000 Ottoman Turks. His brother, Radhu, he accepted Islam as his religion. And he became the Hafiz of Quran. Some of you might be knowing this. Some of you would not be knowing this. But please note it. Radhu, he became the Hafiz of Quran. His brother, Vlad III's brother. Fall of Spain, 1492. We know what happened. When we look at the international media, we study history, we are told that Christopher Columbus actually wanted to discover different places, and he came to America, Cuba, Americas. If you read Encyclopedia Britannica, it would say that in his communication addressed to the Queen and King of Spain, Isabella, and King Ferdinand, Columbus had emphasized respect to your royal highnesses, deep respect from me. The way you have subjugated the Moors in Spain, do give me the permission to go to India to subjugate the Moors in the subcontinent. This is Encyclopedia Britannica, which I'm quoting. You can check yourself. Imperial Russia, starting from Muscovy, a small state, you can say. Then many of you have understood and they know Shamil Dagestani, his tariqah like Hazrat Bahu, relating to Zikr Allah, that sustained Islam. But Central Asia was overcome. Turkestan was overcome. There was a reference in this movie to Chechen Ingustia. It's true. It happened during the time of Stalin, when there was unrest in the Chechen Ingush region of that area. Stalin actually deported tens of thousands of Chechens to Siberia. And one thing more he also did, which is normally not referred to. According to a book, Inside Russia Today, by John Gunther, he wrote it in the 1950s. John Gunther was an American journalist. So Inside Russia Today, he writes that after deporting the Chechens and Ingush people to Siberia, what Joseph Stalin did was he recalled all encyclopedias, all dictionaries from the Soviet Union, and the name Ingustia was removed from those encyclopedias so that in future nobody ever remembers the name of Chechnya. This is history. I don't have to go into too many details, but 1707 is important. The death of emperor, the last great Mughal emperor, Aurangzeb Alamgir, after which came the Sikhs. And what did the Sikhs do? They converted Badshahi Masjid in Lahore, the main Eidgah in Multan, and mosques in Rawalpindi, Peshawar, Kabul. They converted them into horse stables. And no Muslim was allowed to recite the Azan. No Muslim was allowed to recite the Quran or publish the Quran. This is a reality. Hyderabad, 1947-48, when Mr. Nehru, who was a big name in international politics, Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, and people say he was a great humanitarian and a great international statesman, and he initiates army action against the state of Hyderabad in India, and more than 200,000 Muslims are massacred. And the government of India says, no, this is just a police action. So Indian army is doing everything. And Mr. Nehru, a great man in history, great name in history, is telling the United Nations on its face, brazenly, it's just a police action in which 200,000, 250,000 Muslims are massacred. Our intellectuals here would tell us very openly. They would say that, the Pakhtuns, they attacked Kashmir in 1947-48, and that resulted in the Pakistan-India war. Our intellectuals, maybe they are half-baked. They don't even understand. Ian Stephens, the main journalist leading the English magazine Statesman, says 200,000 or more Muslims were raped, massacred by Dogras, by the RSS, Rashtriya Savayam Sevak Sangh, Gundas. They raped Muslim women. It enraged everything, resulting in the war between Pakistan and India. Pakistan had not initiated 1947-48 war. Actually, it was triggered off by the atrocities committed against the Muslims by the Rashtriya Savayam Sevak Sangh, people under the control of the Dogra rule. And Dogra people were also 100% involved. Gujarat, there was a reference in this movie. I was posted in New Delhi as Pakistan's Deputy High Commissioner. I should not take the name. Indian journalists in private used to tell me that more than 10,000 Muslims were killed, massacred and raped, including children, by Narendra Modi and his establishment. The figure was not 2,000 as it has been quoted by Wikipedia. And Wikipedia is not controlled by a Muslim. You should be intelligent enough to understand all this. The point is close to or more than 10,000. This is the figure that is normally quoted in private in India, and it was officially formally communicated to me by Indian journalists themselves. We have spoken about Kashmir. How can we miss Palestine? His Excellency is here. The first Foreign Minister of Pakistan, Sir Zafarullah Khan, he was the first de facto Foreign Minister of Palestine also. Sir Zafarullah Khan is his name, please note it. He was the de facto, not de jure, de facto Foreign Minister of the state of Palestine. And he struggled and he voiced his views to assist and help the people of Palestine at that time. Since Jerusalem is being discussed and there is an element of Islamophobia, I just conclude my statement here, expressions here, with one small incident that struck my mind. During the time of Caliph Umar, Hazrat Umar, just for those who do not know, Caliph Umar has been granted 52nd position by Michael Hart in his book, The 100. I would not pay much attention to Michael Hart, because I know Umar, we know the importance of Hazrat Umar, the greatest companion of our Prophet. When he was invited to Jerusalem, by the chief patriarch, and in Jerusalem, he was asked to take a tour of the monastery, a Christian church, and he's there. And after spending few minutes, maybe 30 minutes or so, 1 hour or so, it was a beautiful church. And Umar says to the chief patriarch, the Christian priest, now it is the time for prayer. Can I go out and say my namaz? And the Christian priest says, you can say your prayers here. You can offer your namaz in our church. We don't have any problem. And you know what Umar said? Umar said, I don't want to say my namaz here, because tomorrow after me might come some Muslims who might say, since Umar said his namaz in a church, so we have the right to subjugate the churches. Islam is a very tolerant religion. Our Prophet, there is a hadith of our Prophet, very important hadith. The ink from the pen of a scholar is much more valuable in the eyes of Allah than the blood of a martyr. Thank you.